Today we are going to look at the male, the female lips, what they tell us about the sex organ type and size. But before then, we have been having this talk. This is about the third week. We started from the hair. We are saying that you can be able to identify the sex drive of a man or a woman, the sexual drive, the sex organ type, the way it looks like, the way it can even feel, from the person's looks, from the person's face. And then we said that from the person's hair, you can tell if the person has a high sex drive. And we established that if the person has a lot of hair, then the person has a high sex drive, because the sex drive is pushed by your kidney. And then we also said that if the person has a lot of eyebrow, a lot of hair on the eyebrow, if it's a man, if it's long and crescent, it is indicative that the man may have a long male tool. P. Okay? And then we said that if you don't have enough hair on your skin or on your body, it means your sex drive is low. And once your sex drive is low, your pubic hair will also be small. If your sex drive is high, your pubic hair will be high. We are also establishing that those who have a lot of beard also have a high sex drive. And we say it doesn't matter whether you are bald or not. So long as you have hair at other parts of your body, your kidney is strong enough and it gives you a high sex drive. So we are using these things to ascertain our partner's sex drive, ascertain the organ size. Because we said in our previous lesson that if you meet a man or a woman who has a long nose, it is indicative that the man has a long P. And then if the woman has a long nose, it is indicative that the woman has a long vaginal passage. Now, I would want to talk about the lips. But before I do the lips, I would want us to look at the anatomy of a woman. It helps us understand some basic things. And then in a classroom, I'll take you to the board and then I'll show you just a few things so you can tell. There's this misconception that once the woman has a big lip, she has a big vagina. And we would want to establish what we mean by a small vagina, a big vagina, a large vagina, a narrow vagina, a hollow or a hole. All of them we would want to establish before we get into the other details, because this misconception should be addressed. Now, if you are watching, this is a typical anatomy of a woman. You have the pubic hair, you have the clitoral hood. The clitoral hood is that part that covers the clitoris. In our previous lesson, I think we talked about it.
Yes,
and then we have the clitoris itself. And then we have all the other parts, the labia minora, the labia majora. But normally the labia majora is supposed to cover the minora, which is the outside, is supposed to cover the minora, which is the inside.
So the majora
is the outside
one.
The outer one, and the minora is the inside one. And then we need to understand that once you get this picture, we are going to establish that it doesn't necessarily mean that if the woman has ana also anana no ye punti will pu not there nasi we.
Okay.
That is what I want us to establish. In a bit, I'll be going to the board. Now I'll just sketch a little thing for you to look at, for you to appreciate. My drawing is not that good though, but cameraman gets me to the board. All right. Now I am using this part here, as the labia minora, that is the inside.
Okay.
And then on top of it, we have the clitoris. And then we are going to have the skin that adds up to it. Good. So this is the outer part. This outer part is the lips of the woman.
Okay.
So if you see that the woman has thick lips, it simply means that the majora of the lips of the vagina is also going to be thick. Okay. That is what it indicates. Okay. Now, if the lips are small, if the woman has thin lips, it also means when you pick this is the minora, the inside, you have the clitoris, whether big or small, and then it's going to be thin, like small, like that.
Yeah, okay.
Now, you can see here that right under the clitoris, this is the clitoral hood and this is the clitoris. You're going to have the urethra meatus. This is where the urine comes from.
Okay.
The urethra meatus, that is where the urine comes from. Right under the urethra meatus, you have the Skene's gland. The Skene's gland. The Skene's gland is the equivalent of the prostate, of the male prostate, right? And then right under the Skene's gland, you're going to have the vaginal passage. So you can have a woman who has thick lips and a small vaginal passage. So the fact that the mouth is big, it doesn't mean that so long as the mouth is big, the vagina is also big. So we are establishing what do we call a big vagina. What we are calling a big vagina is a big vaginal passage and a big tube. The tube leads to the cervix. The cervix is like that, it's like a U, like that, right? And then you have the deep spot over here. So if from the vaginal passage here, this tube is long, then it means the person has a deep vagina.
Okay.
If it is short, then the person has a short vagina. If it is wide, 3 inches, 2.5, 3 inches, then it is wide. So that is what we are referring to as somebody who has a big vagina. And normally, women who have wide lips, so if I pick the lip like that, usually it's designed like that. Let me get it right. I left my cleaner. Let me use this one. Good. So you see the lips, you have a V up here, and then it's designed. Come on. Drawing. So, okay, let's see. Like that. And then you have the lower one, like that. And then you have another thick one under here. So this is the upper lip, and then this is the down one. But you see, this is thick, right? This is thick, and this one too is thick. And then it is also what? Wide.
Wide. Okay.
So if the woman has thick lips and the lips are also wide, then it means that the vaginal passage here would be wide, and the labia majora will also be thick.
Okay.
That is what we are talking about. So it is not necessarily true that anyone who has big lips necessarily has a big vagina. But we are saying that if the lips are thick up and down, they are thick and they are wide,
okay,
that is what we can ascertain that yes, it's possible that a person will have such a thing. Now let's look at the next slide that we have. And then you see on the slide that I have images of some designs there, some pictures you can pick, and on those pictures you are seeing three different images of the private part of a woman, and you can see that the first one on your left is extremely long. From the clitoris way down to the perineum is long, but if you look at the hole and the muscle inside, it's extremely small. So you can't say this person, because the lips are wide, that person has a deep vagina,
okay,
or a wide or big vagina, because the muscle there is small. This will also mean that she has thin lips because the labia is not big, and then her mouth, she can stretch it. When she smiles, she has that stretch. So people who have dimples have the extra stretch. So this woman is likely to be a woman who has a dimple, the one on the left.
yeah,
And then you have the one in the middle. You can see the hole in the middle, right on top of the clitoris and then the uterus. It is not that big. That is a normal size vagina. And then you can see the third one, from the top to the bottom, is extremely wide, and then the hole from the uterus where the urine passes down there is also long, and you can even see some of the muscle in there. That is what we call a wide vagina. Now, if you're looking at a deep vagina, we are looking at the picture on the extreme right, where you have the cervix, the uterus, and all that. That picture you see from where you have the vagina is a tube. The tube in which the penis would be moving up and down, because the penis can't go beyond the cervix. It just hits the cervix and that is it. And anytime you hit the cervix, you see the woman move on the bed. So if it is long, then we say the woman has a deep vagina. If it is short, we say she has a short vagina. And if it is wide, we say she has a wide vagina. So after we have established this, settle. I hope you agree with me that the conception that any woman who has a wide lip, big lip, has a big vagina.
Big vagina, no.
It's clear now.
That's very clear.
Beautiful. Now the mouth also signifies something special. And I would want us to understand that the way your mouth is shaped, even the way your mouth is shaped, tells a lot about you, the person, especially the upper lips and the lower lips. Let's see what I'm talking about. You can see this image I have here. You can see that this person has his lower lips in and the upper lips overlapping.
Yeah.
This simply means that this person, there's a very good harmony between his ring organs and his internal organs. The ring organs are the organs around our face. There's a muscle around our face that we call the sphincter muscle. That same muscle is linked to the female breast. That same muscle is linked to the everything you have under
the sphincter muscles.
The sphincter muscles.
Okay.
Those muscles, that is why when somebody squeezes the female breast, she feels it in the vagina as well. It pulls the uterus. You get that? So these muscles are linked together, and we are saying that those who have their upper lips overlapping with a little hole in there means that the sphincter muscles are connected very well to the other internal organs. That makes such people very healthy people. Very healthy people. And then we have lips and the mouth. And like I'm saying, or like I was saying previously, we have full lips and we have thin lips. We have large lips, we have small lips. And we have, if you see the curvature I was trying to draw that I was messing up, the curvature that I was trying to draw, all these things have a strong relation with the healthy sex organ. When you see a woman who has that curve in there, she has a healthy sex organ, and normally their sex organs look beautiful. I mean beautiful, yes.
Of course, she has a very beautiful mouth.
I'm saying that curve you have there, that symmetric curve you have there on the lips, is indicative that the woman's private part is well designed and well positioned. Beautiful. Now, looking at the size of the lips and the mouth still, here I am saying that anyone whose upper lip overlaps the lower lip is a giving person, is somebody who likes giving, is a generous person, somebody who gives. If the upper lips overlap the lower lip, and if the lower lip overlaps the upper lip, that person is a receiver. The person receives more than the person gives, and most people have it even. So such people, they take and they give, but the givers are like the setters. Their upper lips are a little above the lower lip. And so if you know that you are a receiver, what would you go for?
A giver?
Yes. So the giver would also know that I am a giver, so I'm giving to a receiver. So when you are receiving, you don't become worried. And when you are giving, you don't become worried, because it is a part of your nature.